sunshine, welcome back to my channel, Alex in the Sunlight. I'm Alex and I'm so happy to see you. The purpose of today's video is to find out, figure out, gain some insight into what's coming toward us this December, okay? What's going on in our December. If the reading resonates with you, please give this video a like, subscribe so we can spend more time together. Follow me on Instagram where I post daily readings at Alex in the Sunlight. Consider becoming a patron over on my Patreon page to support this channel, patreon.com/AlexInTheSunlight. And also, just because it is the holiday season, if you're still looking for gifts for loved ones or even for yourself, check out my self-published botanical coloring book. The link is down below in the description. It was a labor of love. It's just a coloring book filled with landscapes and nature scenes, positive affirmations, word searches, and plenty of other stuff. So if you're still looking or you're interested, check it out. All of the info is down below. Okay, so we've got 4 groups today. Group 1, Rose Quartz. Group 2, Howlite. Group 3, Prenite. And Group 4, Tiger's Eye. Okay, if you've already chosen your pile, that's totally fine. But if you could just humor me and close your eyes, take a deep breath in through the nose, filling the chest and the belly with air. And as you exhale, ask your spirit guides, your angels, or your higher self to aid you in choosing the correct pile for you so that when you open your eyes, the one you are drawn to first is the right one. Okay? Let's get started. Hey, group number 1, those of you who chose Rose Quartz. So, at first, I was like, you know, when I pull cards like this for people, I'm like, how best can I tell, you know, a bunch of different people with many different personalities and many variants of sensitivities and perspectives that, you know, things are going to get challenging. But then I realized, you know what, you guys can handle it. Like, I'm feeling like December for you guys is going to be all about it's like that tower moment where things are crumbling down that were built in sand so that they can be rebuilt better and bigger with brick, right? Stronger, more solid. Like, I feel like it's definitely going to get a little bit messy for you guys in December, but it makes sense as well because I'm thinking like, this is it. This is the last month of 2019, right? We are going to enter into an entirely new decade, all new, brand new energy. So it's kind of like that final, you know, cleanup, that final sweep through of like, this doesn't serve, this doesn't serve, this doesn't serve, it's gone. Okay? And so because I know how challenging that can be at first, I was like, maybe I should, like, you know, try and find like the most like sparkly way to say this, but it's like, actually, I don't think that's it. I feel like you guys are way stronger than that. And I want you to know that. I want you to feel that. Like, you are intuitive. You have a very powerful inner compass. You are creative, and you are just being asked in the month of December, above everything, to be brave. Okay? Be brave. Whatever shows up for you, take it in stride and just face it. Okay? Just face whatever it is, because on the other side of it is like a whole new life. But it's kind of just like, we really have such a great time when things are going our way or when things are finally manifested. But we should also be, you know, maybe not enjoying, but honoring the time that comes before that, right? It's often a storm, it's often the rain. Like, there's a time and a place for everything. So just honor the cycles and honor the fact that no matter what comes at you guys, no matter what comes at you, you will be okay, and you're gonna be better than okay. All right? But it's like, even knowing that logically, doesn't always help. So it's also, you guys are also going to need to incorporate feeling and really lead with your emotions and allow your emotions to impart wisdom to you, right? Because it's like, it's about leading with the heart this month. It's about going with your gut, okay? When everything seems like it's going all crazy, you guys just need to follow your heart and go with your gut. All right. The first card you've pulled is Panther from the Animal Spirit Guide deck. So like I said, you guys are going to need to be brave. The Panther to me is like this energy is like, this is you, but this is also the kind of energy that your life is going to be taking on in December. So I feel like, have you seen The Never-Ending Story? I hope you have. Brilliant movie, but you know, Atreyu, right? He's on this quest, and the nothing is just sweeping over everything. And while he's on this quest, while he's going through these obstacles, there's this crazy looking, terrifying wolf that's like following him this whole time, right? That's like hell bent on, you know, making Atreyu his lunch, basically. And so like Atreyu is on this journey, and he's going, and this wolf is following him. And then at the end, maybe not the end of the movie, but just like there comes a time where Atreyu just has to kind of like stop, turn around, and face it. And I feel like that's this moment for you guys in December, is like taking on whatever this dark creature that's like following you, hell bent on attacking. Like I feel like it's like whatever it is that feels like it's attacking your life is asking you to be brave and to face it and attack your life with it, almost. And I know that may sound nuts, but what I mean is kind of like, I was told once that everything in your dream, every person in your dream represents an aspect of you. So if the same is for movies or stories, right? That creature that's following Atreyu is an aspect of him. The parts of your life that seem to come in to inconvenience you or hurt you are not separate from you, right? Separation is an illusion. So kind of think of it as like, it's not just the logic of, if something falls away, it wasn't meant for me anymore, right? We can know that in theory. It's almost like, no, I don't just know this logically, I feel this. Like I am, you know, the creator and the destroyer in this situation, right? And I'm going to clear and cut away everything that's not for me anymore, everything that's holding me back, right? It's almost like that Kali energy. So the Panther may come in and, you know, start effing stuff up. But like, instead of being afraid of it and running from it, you can kind of join in and be like, you know what? No, I'm going to be brave. I'm going to take the reins. I have control in this situation over myself, at least. And I know that if it's not here, if it's not here anymore, it wasn't meant to be. And I will help myself by really feeling the release in all of this. Because I don't know, you know, this is a reading for many people, so I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen. Like as far as specifically what area of your life is going to be kind of flipped. But I just feel like I said, it's the last month of 2019. I feel like the energy of your life in December is like, things gotta go. It's gotta go, and we're making space, we're making room. Okay? That's really uncomfortable though for a lot of us. So just be brave, have courage, and know that it's for your highest good. And follow your gut. The next card you've got from the Wildwood Tarot is Queen of Vessels, or Queen of Cups. So I feel like this is definitely you. Like, you are compassionate, you are creative, you are in tune with your feelings. People probably confide in you a lot. You're gonna need to remember that that is a strength this month, okay? So You know, when I ask you to be brave, when the universe asks you to be brave, that doesn't necessarily mean, you know, put on armor. Some of the bravest things that we can do is to just like stand in the face of what scares us, bare, right? Vulnerable, right? And in that vulnerability, there's a power because you are completely in tune with your feelings and they can guide you. It's like, you know, the salmon is like up in the air. Like if you've seen like nature documentaries when they they're like swimming upstream and they're like flinging themselves into the air like up a waterfall or something like that. I don't know if you've seen those types of things, but it's almost like this determination that's just based on instinct. So that's what I mean, like go with your gut, go with your instincts. They're leading you to higher ground and they're leading you to where you're meant to go. So honor your feelings, even if those feelings are uncomfortable, right? Because it's not necessarily going to be the you know rosiest month, but it's purposeful. It's meant to help you, and you are protected and you are divinely guided. Okay, you're not going to come out of this all bent out of shape. You know what I mean? Like you guys are really good. So just trust as well. The next card you pulled is Fairies from the Earth Magic Oracles. And to me, this is kind of like reminding you, one, that you are magical, okay? And two, like I said before, separation is an illusion. So the same magical energy that creates fairies, that creates trees, that creates the ocean, like it created you. Connect back with nature and your place in the universe. I think it'll help you to kind of step outside of whatever seems to be going on externally and help you with your perspective on things. If you see this fairy, you know, there's a light shining down on it, right? And I also feel like this is a message to get out in nature, to plant something, right? To garden, to buy a plant, and take care of it. Do things outside of yourself or outside of the current situation that remind you that, like, one, life goes on, and two, you aren't alone, right? We, like, when we're kids, a lot we hear like you're not the center of the universe or something like that, right? When we're being kind of selfish. I feel like when we're really sad or when things go crazy in our lives, we get really wrapped up in our own head and what's going on in our own experience. When you have when you can look outside of that by seeing the wonder that's all around you in nature, like the air you breathe, or you know, the trees in your neighborhood or at the park nearby, or the water that's like in a lake or a pond near your home, or if you live by the beach, things like that. Like focus on that when things get a little overwhelming for you, because I think it'll help you with your perspective and your point of view to remember like that your current experience is not the only experience. Your current point of view is not the only point of view, and that this is a moment in time. Okay. The next card you pulled from the Goddess Power Oracle is Yi, the Sun in reverse. So this is like illumination of like the highest kind. Like light is going to be shed on everything that you aren't seeing right now, and that can be uncomfortable. It's like, you know, when you've sat out in the sun too long and you start feeling that kind of stinging in your skin, or when you've been inside and then you step outside and it's sunny and the light seems to like blind you, you know what I mean? This is like trying to show you what you've been ignoring maybe, or what you've just been unaware of. I feel like it goes hand in hand with this panther. Like the universe really wants change for you and it wants better for you. This energy is about getting what you really deserve, which is much better than what you've been accepting or settling for, right? No more settling this month. is basically what this energy is like. Because also with it, when it's upright, it's like about shining. It's about being your authentic self. It's about not worrying about what other people have to say about you shining, right? Because you're here to do what you came to do. So I feel like in reverse, it's like, have you forgotten? Have you forgotten who you are? Okay, we're going to remind you, right? The next card you've got from the Wild Offering Oracles is Challenges. But if you look at it, there's butterflies, there's beautiful plants and flowers. Like, it's so difficult when we're going through it to remember that, like, plants grow in the dirt and their roots are like in darkness, and then they grow from that, and we're like, wow, we're marveling at how beautiful they are, right? You are just as beautiful as these plants. You are just as wonderful as these plants, right? You are a miracle to behold. So remember that when things are challenging you, when things feel like just one big test, like, understand that it's making you into who you really want to be. Okay? The card says, unbearable situations throw you directly into God's arms if you are open. Please take over, Divine, and guide the right actions. Please take this burden and show me your will. Right. You don't have to suffer twice. Challenges don't have to be as hard as they are sometimes, but we are so resistant to challenge that it can be like, okay, it just made it that much worse. You know what I mean? It's kind of like if you get a stomach ache and then you're mad that you have a stomach ache. Well, now not only do you have a stomach ache, but now you're suffering from your anger, right? So definitely feel what you feel. You still pulled the Queen of Cups, so you've got to honor your feelings, but you don't have to just feel it and then not be able to move through it or let it weigh you down. If you have a spiritual practice, really lean into that, and lean into to loved ones as well. If there are loved ones around you that support you, ask them for their support, right? If you are someone who finds it difficult to ask for help, December is a month that you need to just go on and do that, okay? And I would say prioritize keeping some kind of peace in your mind. Prioritize getting your mind right, okay? Because if things are going topsy-turvy in your life, you want to help yourself by maintaining some kind of serenity, even if it's just within. The last card you've pulled from the Sacred Geometry Activation deck is Merkaba. Or Merkaba. I'm not really sure. how to pronounce that. But this is just talking about, like, I feel like this ties it all in together, like I said with the fairies, looking outside of yourself, looking outside of your own experience, understanding that this is just a moment among many moments in your life. December is just 1 month out of 12 months in a year. You know what I mean? Or this December will be one December out of the many Decembers you will experience. Like, there's so much happening all around you. So I feel like, if you can get through this, which you can, but if it's almost like just feeling it, like, I can get through this, and getting through this reminds me of how powerful I am and how capable I am to get through anything. And all experience is growth. But the card says, the frequency of Merkaba supports our ability to use our consciousness to traverse into other layers of reality and dimensions. It activates our access to our Akashic inheritance as well, merging the totality of our experiences into our present to serve our highest purpose. Yes, understand how you got here. Understand everything in your life that brought you to this moment, and understand that through that, knowing this is another moment that will bring you to your higher purpose, or to wherever it is that you're trying to get to. You know what I mean? it's all for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. And I'm also like, just one last side note, I'm seeing lots of purple here. So I also feel like, and lots of blue. So I feel like, you guys are really meant to kind of look at whatever you experience this December through your third eye, through your crown. Like, really, you're definitely supposed to use your heart. You've also got green, but it's kind of just like marrying these chakras up here, and using them to kind of clear your viewpoint, clear your pathway, bring yourself and your awareness to a deeper understanding of why it is you're going through whatever you're going through, because everything happens for a reason, right? So definitely the universal reason is that because you're meant to get to bigger and better things. But it's like, use your abilities, use your mind to extract the downloads, extract the wisdom in these experiences in the month of December. Okay, but that's all I've got for you guys, group number one. I really hope it resonated with you. Let me know down below if it did. I hope you have a beautiful December. I really think no matter what happens, no matter what gets thrown at you, you guys are going to be on top. Like, you're really strong and really powerful, so don't forget that. Okay, thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy with me. I truly appreciate it. The magic in me honors the magic in you. Be well. Bye. Hey, group number two, those of you who chose Howlite. Okay, so for you guys, three things. First thing, I feel like you will be establishing or continuing a routine, especially pertaining to your goals, your work, your projects, things of that nature. And I really feel like you guys are focused on your grind. So you're going to be like I said, either beginning a routine, but most likely continuing a routine and like doubling down on what it is that you're working really hard towards, because you guys are working really hard. So I feel like you're gonna keep it up, and you did pick Howlite, so I feel like, remember to rest. Okay, you guys are working really hard. Remember to rest so that you can continue to work hard. Okay, don't burn yourself out. All right. Second thing, it's the last month of 2019. Isn't that wild? I feel like you guys are really gonna feel that, like, oh man, like what? I feel like you guys are gonna be going over things in your head, or even with loved ones, like, wow, look how far I've come, or look how far we've come, or look how many things have changed. Look at all the things that we've been through, good and bad. Like, you know, really just taking the time to like pay attention to everything that has happened, because I feel like it's been a big year for you guys, right? Big year full of many changes, many developments, right? And the third thing is there will be an emphasis on, or there needs to be an emphasis on, gratitude. Like I said, it's been a big year for you guys. So really sink into, when you're reflecting on things, sink into feeling grateful. Whatever 2019 brought you in the month of December, carve out time to be grateful. Write things down in the morning or before you go to bed. Like, I am grateful for, if you got a new home, or if you moved to a better place, or if you acquired resources or supplies that you needed, even things that have nothing to do with the material realm. Like, maybe you used your hands a lot this year. Write it down. Like, I'm so grateful for my hands. Or maybe you were using your computer a lot for whatever it is. Like, say, I'm so grateful I have technological devices or something. You know what I mean? Like, go over everything. And I feel like you guys are going to go over everything, but when you do, make sure that you are injecting some gratitude in that, right? In those reflections, in those memories, because it'll help you to manifest more blessings in 2020. Okay, so I feel like December is definitely going to be, you know, kind of like that moment for you guys of realizing like, wow, I've done so much, I've come so far, I've changed, you know. The first card you've got is Moth from the Animal Spirit Guide deck. So I'm feeling like, you know, you guys have been working really hard. Make sure that you rest though, and you don't get too caught up in comparison, or grass is greener type of thinking. You know, things take time, and you don't want to burn yourself out because you're you're overworking yourself because you just want to get to the end goal so fast, or because you have now uh, overused your mental capacity by worrying about, you know, what everybody else has or trying to keep up with what everybody else is doing. I really feel like you guys should just be should really just be cognizant of your position and your the privilege in your position, right? Even if you even recognizing the privilege that is in having a goal at all, right? That is in having a desire at all, in knowing what you want out of your life, or in knowing how to get there, even if it's taking a while or your journey has felt fraught with challenges. Like, it's your journey, so own it, okay? Honor it. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Like, and it's funny because it's like this moth is green, and I feel like this can be like I said, feeling like the grass is greener, or almost being green with envy, like seeing other people succeed. When you see other people succeed, let it make you happy. And I know that for some of you that can sound like really strange, but what I mean is when you see other people succeed, allow it, instead of making you feel jealous, let it make you feel like, yeah, it's possible. If they can do it, I know I can do it. If they can figure out their way, I know I'm figuring out mine. Okay? And remember, especially if you guys are feeling this way because you're looking at social media, you hear it all the time, but it really truly is honestly a highlight reel, and it's so curated. I'm not criticizing anybody, but it's like when you're on the other end of it and you are, you know, working as hard as you guys are working, and then you're looking at someone else's chapter 17 when you're on chapter 3 in your own journey. It's like it can really mess with your head, right? So in December, just be mindful of that. And if you got to step away from social media and things like that, do so. But don't fall prey to your monkey mind, or your jealous side, or anything like that, and then end up thinking that overworking yourself is the solution to get what you want, or quick fixes are the solution to getting what you want. That's not how you're going to get what you want, okay? It's through this. You've got the Knight of Stones here from the Wildwood Tarot, Knight of Pentacles in traditional tarot. So I feel like, you know, this is you guys, like I said, determination. You know, you're carving out your routine, and you're sticking with it, and you're working hard. You've got, you know, you've got your goals, you've got your vision clear in your mind, and you know where you're trying to get to, and you're making your way. Like, you're carving it out. You're not going to just materialize there, right? You're going to get there step by step. So keep with it. Keep with your routine, and keep with each step to get to your goals, okay? Because the hard work that you're putting in is working. What you're doing is working, all right? Even if it's gradual growth, even if it's taking longer than you expected it to, release your expectations, first of all, and just focus on each element that it takes, whatever it is that you're working on, your project, your goal, your job, whatever it is. Like, focus on the elements, the each part that brings it together. Don't focus on, you know, how you expect it to look at the end, right? That's bypassing like the beautiful journey and all of the lessons along the way to getting there, right? The next card you pulled from the Earth Magic Oracle deck is Winter Solstice, Reflection. Yeah, perfect. Right? December, winter. Things slow down, right? Leaves fall and the trees become bare and it gets colder out. It gets darker earlier. It's like everything about this season tells you to slow down and rest. Everything about it. But I get the feeling you guys aren't going to really want to do that. Which is fine, but you really do need to make sure that you rest, okay? You really do need to honor the cycles and seasons within your own life and with your own body, all right? But this is really telling me that, like I said, you guys are going to be very reflective. You're going to be mulling it over, like getting lost in like a reverie of what this year has been for you and what it's meant to you and how much you've grown. And I really feel like Spirit wants you to recognize that whatever it was that this year brought you was divine. Like it was divinely guided. Divine timing is at play. So honestly, you can find a blessing in each and everything. Even if it hurt, even if it was inconvenient, it was there for a reason, and it was there to bring you to a better, more authentic place, right? Because I feel like you guys, you're working on these goals and everything, and it's like, don't lose sight of why. Don't lose sight of why. You have a purpose, you have a higher purpose, and I feel like when you're reflecting on everything that's happened, it can become more clear to you. You can kind of connect the dots and see how, everything went and how it all kind of like had its own perfect timing, right? So that's the same with right now. Right now is no different. Like the timing, trust the timing of your life, okay? And really feel grateful. I know I keep saying that, but it's like really try and feel honored for whatever has taken place, and know that if it was divinely guided, which it was, then it's like, well, everything it was just a stepping stone, okay? Even if it hurt, even if it was inconvenient, it was a stepping stone to get you where you're trying to get to, okay? The next card you've pulled is Green Tara, Salvation, from the Goddess Power Oracle. So this is reminding you, like, you came here to experience life, right? You incarnated in this lifetime not to be a bump on the log or like, just like a rock in the sand. Like you're a human, you're a living, breathing human being. And in this human experience, we encounter so much, right? We come across so much and we feel so much, and it's all a part of it, right? Our expectations and our perception of right, wrong, good, bad can make the vast spectrum of human emotion kind of jarring, right? Kind of daunting. But this is just like reminding you that your salvation comes in acceptance of everything, and accepting that you came here to experience it all, to feel it all. You had a choice, right? You have a choice. You have autonomy. You have freedom in your will. Life isn't happening to you, okay? You are living, all right? How that looks sometimes is completely different to what we may have dreamed about when we were kids or whatever it was, but it's all a part of the journey getting you to where it is that you truly want to be and where it is that you actually belong. Okay? The next card you've pulled is Gratitude from the Wild Offering Oracles. Be grateful for this life that you have. Be grateful for the experiences that you've gone through this year. It's all a part of your journey. It's all a part of your path. And I feel like you guys, you're working on really special stuff. You guys are like I said, you're pretty driven, you're pretty determined. So take some time in December to feel gratitude for everything, because where you're headed is going to be so much sweeter if you have an aura or an attitude of gratitude. Okay? But the card says, find just one thing that you feel grateful for right now and let that gratitude pour through your body. It's a healing balm like the warmth of the sun, right? Like, it's feeling gratitude, feeling grateful. Even, like I said, even if it's just like, oh, I feel so grateful for my hands, or I feel so grateful for my senses, I feel so grateful for my sight, or, and that could be your eyesight, or your, like, your third eye, like, your psychic abilities, whatever it is. You're so grateful for transportation, or air to breathe, anything like that kind of a thing. It positions you to where you feel abundance, right? Because some of you have like a scarcity mindset a little bit, and you may be fearful, and that may be why you're trying to get like to the other side of your journey so quickly, or that might make you feel a little bit antsy, because you're just like, you're almost afraid that it won't happen, or your dreams won't come true. But they're gonna come true, and you can start remedying some of that anxiety by feeling gratitude, by taking stock of what it is you already have, while you're trying to get what it is that you believe you want, right? Outside of what you already have. And that perfectly goes hand in hand with root chakra from the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle. Okay, security, safety, physicality, your career, your finances. Like, I feel like this is at the forefront of your mind. So really nurture it. Listen to some root chakra frequencies, do some root chakra meditations, wear the color red. Okay, carry red crystals with you, like garnet or ruby or carnelian, and focus on building a foundation first. Don't put stock in quick fixes or snake oil remedies, right? Build your foundation from the ground up, the root, right? The roots, okay? But the card says, the frequency of the root chakra, the red flower of life, stimulates passion and supports our sense of security on this physical plane, both in our bodies as well in the physical world, right? You have the power to make yourself feel safe and secure and protected. Okay, so be that for yourself. And from that empowering stance, your dreams are assured. Okay, whatever it is that you guys are working on, it will be successful. You will be successful. Okay, so just work on that stuff. Work on your gratitude. Work on your sense of self and your sense of safety and security. Okay, and when you are reflecting on this past year, really reflect on it. Realize how far you've come. You've grown a lot. Okay? So be grateful for that. And be proud. Okay? You should be proud of yourself. That's all I've got for you guys, group number 2. I really hope the reading resonated with you. Let me know down below if it did. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy with me. I truly appreciate it. The magic in me honors the magic in you. Be well. Bye. Hey, group number 3, those of you who chose Prenite. Okay, so for you guys, I'm feeling like it's funny, because it's like I feel like in December, you guys are just going to, you're being asked to enjoy yourself and to do the things that make you feel good and really spread love around. I feel like family and people you love, that's going to be emphasized this month. But I also feel like there may be little challenges here or there, and you're being asked to just kind of like take them with grace, take them in their stride, and like, I feel like you will. I think that you guys have grown a lot this year. So in December, it's just going to be kind of like, you're empowered to realize, like, I have the choice of where I put my energy. I have the choice on if I give this energy or not, right? If I choose to feed energy into, my haters, or if I choose to just spread love to those that, I care for, or maybe even selfless acts. Like, I feel like some of you guys are probably going to be feeling inspired to give or to be charitable in some way. And that could just be with your time, or, maybe you guys are crafty. I feel like some of you guys are very into arts and crafts. So you might decide to like create little things, or toys for children to give away, things like that. I feel like you guys are just going to be very inspired and inspiring to others. And like I said, there may be little challenges that come up here or there, but I feel like you're definitely going to, I want to say like breeze past it. It may not be like exactly like a breeze past it, but I feel like, you know, you will definitely, you will definitely overcome. And when you do, you're just gonna kind of be like, huh, that was nothing. Um, and if not, I mean, no, I really feel like that's what you guys are gonna do. I feel like, you guys in the past have been, because you guys are very sensitive. I feel like a lot of you guys are very sensitive, and I feel like in the past you guys have been kind of deeply affected by life's challenges, or affected by things that life has thrown at you. And I think that you've definitely come out stronger and wiser. So now when life's challenges come at you, you're just kind of like, huh, okay, what's really going on here? Like, I feel like you can take a bit of a more open-minded approach, right? While still maintaining your sensibility, your sensitivity, your emotionality, if that makes sense. The way forward in December is through your heart space, is through love, is through enjoying yourself. You're here to enjoy yourself. So if December is one of your favorite months, I feel like for some of you, this is your birthday month. Enjoy yourself, okay? Really carve out time for fun, all right? Spend time with those you love, all right? Don't let anyone tell you differently. And I also feel like a lot of you guys have accomplished a lot this year. So celebrate that, okay? No matter what anybody else says. Because I feel like some of you guys have a little bit of like, some people are watching you and kind of envious of you. Don't pay that any attention. Like, do what you want to do, okay? But the first card you've pulled from the Animal Spirit deck is Beaver. So, like I said, this is that energy of family, taking care of family, wanting to be around family. Whether that's like you guys may go out and get a bunch of Christmas gifts for everybody, or work on like, I feel like some of you guys are going to be like decorating the home with family, with like, you know, bits and baubles and the Christmas tree and the stockings and all of that stuff, like in the Christmas songs. And then also, some of you guys are going to be, like I said, going out and giving selflessly to others, or, creating little things like arts and crafts. Maybe some of you guys are like, on your way to Michael's and just pick up a bunch of stuff and make like wreaths for people, or little things like that. But it's positive energy. Like, I feel like you guys have like a really nice aura around you in the month of December. And this could also mean you're starting a project in the month of December that isn't just for you, right? You guys may be starting some kind of a business or something, or helping somebody else with their business, and you understand that this is like long-term steady work and you're up for the challenge. Okay, your capabilities, your abilities, your mind, your talents are like being put to good use in this area. You know what I mean? And I feel like success is either imminent, or like you have just had a really successful year with everything that you've been through. You've just come out on top. And you've got the Seven of Bows here, or the Seven of Wands in traditional tarot. This is from the Wildwood Tarot deck. So, like I said, you may have some people around you who are a bit envious or like hating, and they're like, how did you get X, Y, and Z? Or like, why were you the one to get picked for this or that thing? Or what makes you think that you can help? Or, oftentimes, I say this sometimes, bright lights attract bugs. So you guys are like a bright light right now, and that's intimidating to some people. It's super confusing, because it's like, especially when you're doing such good in the world, or when you're just trying to spread joy and love, and you receive like hate instead, or you see people on the sidelines who are just kind of like, who does that person think they are? It's just like, wait, why are you sending that crazy negative energy towards me? And it's like, well, when you are winning, when you are succeeding, when you are being a generous or giving person, when you've got a positive aura around you and other people are not as in their own power or are not as positive in their own journey at the moment, right? You can kind of remind them of where they're not at yet, right? You can remind them of what, aspects about them that maybe they probably really wish were at the forefront, but they're still in this other area of their journey. Not to say that they won't be as successful or as positive as you, but at this space where they're at, they're not. And so you shining is just making them feel like they're not shining. And it's not true, but it's like, it's how it works sometimes in people's heads. So, and then this can also mean, I feel like for some of you, you're going to have, because there's such an emphasis on family, I feel like you're going to be very protective of family. Maybe you're like, helping your family members like work on certain things and, kind of taking on like a mentor figure or guiding people that you love in some kind of way because you've had the success or because you've done it first or done it before, so people may be seeking guidance from you. And then there also may be some competition in that regard as well. Like, maybe some people feel like they've got to get on your level, and instead of asking you how they got there or asking you to help them or focusing more so on their own grind or their own journey, they're going to try and compete with you or, take your spot. And that's not really possible. I don't really feel like that's what's going to happen. But I do feel like, sometimes people can fantasize in their head and like, oh, well, I could do that better or something like that. You know what I mean? And so just be on the lookout. If you see people trying to like throw negative energy at you, go the opposite way. Don't encourage it. Don't engage. All right, just keep with your own stuff because you've also got summer solstice, which is interesting because we're going to be in winter, but this is the radiance card. This is making me feel like a lot of you are going to have birthdays this month. I could be completely wrong, but it's just, this card is like telling me, you guys need to be enjoying yourself. And I feel like you will. Singing, dancing, playing, you know what I mean? Like really kind of having a good time this month. You've earned it, I feel like you guys deserve to be joyful, to really enjoy yourselves because you're going to spread that joy around. You know what I mean? You're not letting the negativity stop you. You're not letting other people's false pretenses or facades stop you. You're going to be your authentic, true self, and that's going to create space for other people who are ready to do the same. You know what I mean? So really enjoy yourself. It's not selfish. It's not, self-centered, like to put yourself first in that way. Okay, it helps you to help others. It sets the tone, right? It gives other people permission to also celebrate themselves and their achievements, right? The next card you pulled from the Goddess Power Oracles is Mama Kocha, water. So seeing her here is kind of like telling me that you guys are gonna notice, or if you don't notice right away, this is like advice for you to notice what cycle of life you're in at the moment in December. I feel like it's gonna be a positive one, a happy one. But if you looked at water, right, and what state it's in, like if it's frozen, well, it's the next state would be for it to melt, right? Or if there are certain kinds of clouds that it might be time to rain, right? And if it's raining, it's just nourishing the land, right? It's feeding the greenery around you. How water is soft, but it can wear away at rock, right? At entire cliff faces can be just gone if the water keeps, crashing into it, right? So it's kind of just like, I feel like you guys are going to be noticing what's going on around you and allowing that to inform you on what phase of or cycle of life is unfolding around you. And also, to me, water definitely always represents emotion. So, you know, kind of noticing how you feel about things, noticing how certain people make you feel, how certain habits make you feel, thoughts, how certain foods make you feel, certain activities, and like letting that inform you onto what your next step should be, right? Kind of paying attention to the ebb and flow of things. If it's an ebb, the next natural step is a flow. If it's a flow, there's going to be an ebb, like, you know, and moving with that and allowing it to nourish you and get you where you want to be, right? We're made up of a lot of water, so I feel like we have this natural connection to it, and it's like Bruce Lee says, right? Like, be like water. So, and he's a Sag, so if some of you are Sages, I told you it's gonna be your birthday. Anyways, so I just feel like, you know, you guys are gonna be noticing this stuff, and instead of little obstacles or challenges roughing you up, I feel like you're just going to be like, oh, okay, if this is happening now, it's because growth is on the other side. Or, you know, if I feel so much love now, it must be because of the work I've done on my heart space, or, in my relationships, or my relationship to self. You know what I mean? Like, realizing the cause and effect of stuff and how everything is connected and separation is an illusion, right? And this card is number 33, which is a 6, right? And to me, 6 is like harmony. So I feel like even in the inconvenient things, you're going to see the harmony, you're going to see the place it has in the whole, right? And that goes perfectly with this sanctuary card from the Wild Offering Oracles. There's little water droplets in here. I don't know if you can see, but I feel like this is reminding you, no matter what's happening externally, you are not broken. You are complete. You are whole. You are growing. You are learning. Yes, our external affects us, but we affect it as well. You know what I mean? So if everything outside of you is chaos, you have the choice to be calm and serene inside. You know what I'm saying? But the card says, a sanctuary resides inside you no matter what is happening. This inner temple beckons you to enter. Take a deep breath. Enter and sit down on the throne of your own heart. Yeah, and I see you guys doing that. I don't feel like it's going to be too difficult for you to realize this. I feel like you guys have really grown this year and really come to a very wise place within your mind and within your heart. So remember this sanctuary within you when people try you, because this card is right underneath the 7 of wands. So if I'm right and people are jealous or trying to compete with you or things like that, go within, find that sanctuary, and just pray that they have one too. You know what I mean? Like, just, you are in a way more positive place than your haters are. Okay, so just remember that. All right. And the last card you've pulled from the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle deck is Empowerment. And to me, you guys are empowered this month. And even if you don't know it, you are setting an example for other people to also be empowered in themselves. Okay? Like I said, we're not separated. We're all connected. So even the people who may feel like they can't relate to you or they're jealous of you for whatever reason, they're learning from you and you learn from them, right? We learn from each other, and I don't feel like we cross each other's paths for no reason. So understand that, like, you being this like big, beautiful light in the world, and being so loving and so fierce and so courageous and so understanding and compassionate, like, empowers you to empower others. You know what I mean? Even if you never meet them, right? Even if they're just watching you from afar. But the card says, the frequency of empowerment supports our ability to show up fully and completely, uniting us with others in the deep trust that we are all connected through the same source. We are all connected, right? We're not separate from each other, okay? So I feel like that's going to be at the forefront for you guys, and that's going to also be kind of like the reason why you're so enthusiastic about or willing to spend time with family and like be giving and generous and things like that, because you're just, even if it's not on a conscious level, you're feeling that connection and you're just like craving unity. You know what I mean? And it's beautiful because you're helping the world to be a better place in that way. Okay? No matter how small of a way that is. All right? That's all I got for you guys, group number 3. I think it's going to be a beautiful December for you, okay? Let me know down below if the reading resonated with you. I hope it did. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy with me. I truly appreciate it. The magic in me honors the magic in you. Be well. Bye. Hey, group number 4, those of you who chose Tiger's Eye. Okay, so for you guys, December is about like taking the time to allow everything to settle. You guys have been through some stuff this year. You guys have been through some major shifts and transformations in your life. Even if those things were just within, you've come to some realizations. You've, probably changed directions or changed course. You've learned a lot of lessons. I think some of you have had like spiritual awakenings. You've gone through like moments of enlightenment and then moments of darkness and back and forth. And I feel like it's been like a hell of a ride. You know what I mean? So December is about like being with what is and allowing the dust to settle. Some of you guys, I feel like, are going to feel a little bit restless. Like you're just like, okay, all of this stuff has happened, so what's next? Like, how do we get to the next thing and move? But that's not what December's about, right? It's like if a huge storm just happened and it's like it's just turned everything upside down. That's probably not the best time to try and figure out like how to build something completely new right away, right? You kind of want to like take stock of what's happened and like allow whatever change has taken place within yourself, whatever transformation has taken place, to seep in, settle in. You know what it reminds me of is like, if any of you practice yoga, there's a space at the end where you're lying in corpse pose or shavasana, and a lot of people don't want to. It's like, okay, I just went through this practice, whether it was like a vinyasa or a gentle hatha or whatever kind of practice it was. It is still important to have that time at the end of the practice to lie completely still, close your eyes, and just allow the nutrients of that practice to really settle into your body, to give your body that space to like catch up with what just happened, what it just did, right? You've stretched muscles that maybe were a bit tight. You've used muscles maybe that you haven't used in a while. You've cracked bones and cleared space in your mind. All of that is like really beautiful and really transformative and beneficial, but allowing yourself the space and the time to adjust is just as beneficial, right? So I feel like that's what December is about. It's almost like a new lesson that you'll be learning that will feel maybe a bit weird. If you've been learning lessons this year that have been very active learning and very high energy, this lesson will feel a little bit foreign because this is about stillness, right? This is about embracing the calm after the storm, right? Because I feel like some of you guys are going to be like, okay, I did it. I went through it. Now let me just race off to the next thing and implement these lessons that I learned. But you need that space, right? There's a reason why they say it's the calm after the storm. It's not the party after the storm. You know what I mean? But the first card you pulled is Cobra. So this is like I said, some of you guys have gone through like spiritual journeys, spiritual awakenings, and it's brought you to a much wiser space. And I also feel like it's like you're ready, like whatever you've been through this year, the lessons that you learned was kind of like preschool or like preliminary stuff, and now you're like, okay, I'm really ready to dive into like the juice, like, you know what I mean, like you're like, okay. So I feel like you may, because you're so eager to learn, attract a mentor in that way, or a spirit guide in the physical realm, or maybe just like spiritually you might open your third eye or open access to realms that you didn't have access to previously, but you're more open now, so it's like doors are opening for you. Or this could be you, where you're feeling like you want to share, you know, the spiritual wisdom that you've gained. You want to share what you've learned, but it's steady. This is steady energy. Like if you see, the snake is holding your gaze, right? The cobra is holding your gaze, and the pattern in the background just reminds me of like how the journey of like student and teacher is kind of never ending, you know? It's like student becomes teacher, becomes student, becomes teacher, and so on. And it's funny that I mentioned yoga because, yeah, that's like yoga. You know, you're a yogi, you can become a yoga teacher, but you always have more to learn, and then more to teach, and then more to learn. You know, the cycle never ends, and it's really beautiful because we all transcend that way. We all get wiser that way. So I think that you guys are definitely coming into like a new stage of development in December. And maybe you need to practice yoga if you don't already. The next card you pulled is the Knight of Bows in reverse. So, like I said, you guys may feel impulsive, like you just want to like go, go, go. You want to get to the next thing. You want to learn the next thing. You're like, okay, the storm has passed. Now what? Now what can I sink my teeth into? You may have creative ideas or projects that you want to get off the ground, that you want to push forward, but now really isn't the time. You might experience some delays, and that might frustrate you. But it's because, like I said, you're meant to enjoy this calm after the storm. You're meant to really sit with what is. And if you force it, if you force progress, if you force the way forward, you won't enjoy it. Not like you would if you let things unfold naturally. If you honor the cycles, and if you honor this time of, you know, more gradual progress, slower. Because like if you think about it, it's like, okay, it's about to be winter, and I mention this often because I really feel like the seasons show us what we're meant to be doing. You know what I mean? Like, you know, trees, the leaves are falling. Even if you live in California like I do, and it's just way too warm, you will still find signs of the seasons. You will still find leaves on the ground. It gets darker much earlier, making us sleepier earlier, you know what I mean? It gets chilly. You know, everything is kind of telling us to slow down. Everything is kind of telling us that like we're meant to rest and allow our parts of ourselves to kind of go into a hibernation of sorts, like. And if you don't, you really feel the effects of it, right? If you don't get a good night's sleep, the next day just isn't the best, right? So don't get too frustrated if things aren't moving as quickly as you want, because it's happening for your own good, and it's really happening for a reason, okay? And you know this. I feel like you guys know this. So just recall that wisdom, okay? Even when you're feeling like antsy. The next card you pulled is Rainbow. Blessings, right? The clouds are settling, they're moving away, sky is breaking through, and we've got a rainbow here, right? So this is just about like you honoring the cycles, honoring whatever it was that you've been through this year, and the fact that it's almost over. Like we're about to end this year, 2019, last month of this decade, right? So that's pretty big. So this is about like feeling the kind of hope for whatever new cycle of your life is about to take place. Things aren't going to be the same. You aren't the same. Everything is about to get upgraded. So this is just about like kind of taking that pause to look up and see the rainbow and see how much of a blessing it is that we get to experience these cycles in life, knowing that there's always going to be something on the other side, and we are just growing and evolving and getting closer to our highest purpose and our most joyful self, right? But you don't have to fake it, right? That's also why December is going to be slower for you, so that you can really feel those blessings, not like trying to fake it by seeing the brighter side and just like fake positivity, but like really like, okay, that happened, I went through that, holy crow, but like now it's done. What does that really mean for me? You know what I mean? Like really pausing so it can sink in. December's about letting everything sink in for you. The next card you've pulled is Iris reversed from the Goddess Power Oracle, and she represents communication. So you guys are going to need to put her upright, communicate from an authentic place. I feel like part of this is understanding that like old ways of being are now over. So if you were hiding who you really are, or hiding how you really felt, if you suppressed emotions, if you repressed emotions, if you lied out of fear or told people what you thought they wanted to hear, because you were afraid that if you didn't, there would be conflict. All of that you've got to put to a side and really speak from the heart, okay? Especially since you've been through some major stuff, right? So you might need to speak about it, address it, especially if it involves other people. Address it, even if it sounds strange at first, or if you're so used to being quiet that any words sound like a scream. Let it happen. Really express yourself from the heart. Speak from your heart, okay? And understand that anybody who doesn't want to be with you in that moment and see you and hear you doesn't deserve to be in that space anyway, okay? And they will naturally fall away, all right? And they will be replaced with people who do want to sit in your truth with you, and who do want to hear you, and who want to express themselves honestly with you as well, right? You deserve to be able to communicate open and honestly and lovingly with the people in your life. So be courageous and speak from the heart. And if you look at her, there are rainbows coming out of her eyes, right? What a blessing it is to speak open and honestly. I'm just going to put her upright because that's what I'm manifesting for you guys, okay? The next card you pulled from the Wild Offering Oracle is Contentment. Be with what is. Don't try to push forward ahead of its time, okay? Enjoy the calm after the storm. Pull up a chair. Get something to drink. Take a nap. Like, just let whatever is happening in December happen. And if it's slow, if it's quiet and that makes you uncomfortable, get comfortable with being uncomfortable then. You know what I mean? But I would say remember that where you are is where you're meant to be. Okay? But the card says, you can learn to rest in what you already have and already are. Suddenly you remember, I'm right here, resting in God. Yeah, you are source energy, as we all are. So there's really no mistakes, right? Even your errors are correct, right? So how could where you are be anything less than perfect, right? You're right where you're meant to be. So find a way to enjoy it and find a way to be content with what is, because change has happened and more change is coming. The last card you've pulled is change from the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle. So all of this change that you've been through, all of these lessons that you've learned, they're going to be implemented. Your life is about to get upgraded, like I said. So actually enjoy this calm, right? You may not, if especially if you're working on projects and everything in the future, you may not have this calm for a while. You may be busy, you may be working, you may be, growing even more. So be content with what is, because it'll help you to embrace the change that is also coming. And part of being content with what is a kind of embracing of the change that has just taken place. So you guys aren't stagnant. You have nothing to worry about. But the card says, the frequency of change supports our ability to gracefully dance with the forever changing nature of reality, both inward and outward, so that we can appreciate the sweet release of the old and the birth of the new. Yeah, all of that old stuff, that's gone. It's gone. It got swept away with the rain. Okay, and now we're looking at the rainbows. Now we're like enjoying the peace after that storm. Okay, and the last little bit that you've got to do is allow all of those lessons to seep in, sink in, and speak your truth. Speak from the heart. Talk about how you feel. Talk about the changes that just took place. Okay, allow yourself to be divinely guided, to be spiritually guided. Okay, you guys are in for an upgrade. All right, really exciting stuff. That's all I got for you guys, group number 4. I really hope it resonated with you. Let me know down below if it did. Thank you so much for spending your time and your energy with me. I really appreciate it. The magic in me honors the magic in you. Be well. Bye.